Giving away the ultimate Gary V experience. How should that go? Okay. Over the last week or so, I've been jamming with my friend Michael Rubin. So my auction, the ultimate Gary V experience. Here we go. I'm going to go off the top of the head. And you can go on allinchallenge.com to go bid on this. I am giving away, okay, you get to, in the course of a year, you will go garage sailing with me and film Trash Talk. Also, you can get a workout with me and Mike Vacanti.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So if you guys are having trouble in generating online sales or need to get more traffic to your funnels, I'm going to break down what is a CTA, a call of action, and it's the same strategy that you see the top marketers do. In this particular video, we're going to break down the CTAs of Gary Vaynerchuck, which was what you just saw there in the beginning, and then we're going to kind of break it down onto how you could increase your marketing sales from little tips and tricks that I've learned throughout the times of helping my clients launch $10,000 packages and stuff of that nature. So enjoy the video and the training you're about to get. All right, so now on a general idea of what CTAs are. So if you guys have been following the Gary V methodology, I'll leave links below on his GV 2020 marketing strategies. Essentially, being a practitioner, you learn a lot about different marketing strategies. And in this particular one, the whole aim of all of this is to get people going further and further down in your funnels. So always at the top, he mentions in the Gary V strategy, and this is something that is used by all top marketers, just to put that note out there. You want to have your social media funnels at the very top, and then you want to encourage people to go further down in your funnels by linking them to certain specific things or stuff of that nature.
Want to hear more positivity consistently, especially because I'm worried that post-COVID, there will be no tea with Gary V. It is time for you to subscribe to the podcast, which is absolutely the morning alternative. Here it is. I realize a lot of you that watch Tea with Gary V aren't signed up for my podcast. That makes me sad. Here's what you're missing out on. If you do not follow the podcast, you're missing out. Listening to podcasts is as efficient as fuck when you're traveling, when you're commuting to work, when you're on the fucking treadmill. Listen, I get Drizzy's dropping great albums. I understand, but get your fucking knowledge up. Win for you. Don't consume somebody else's music. Consume some shit that will get you yours. Link up, sign up right now to the fucking podcast. If you're not listening, you're fucking up. Get your summer right. Get on the podcast. Link in the profile. Get on and subscribe. Leave a comment if you just did. Leave a comment if you've been on. I love you. Needs to get to work. It was a fucking fire episode. Winetext.com. You know, if you don't sign up for it, I'm going to kick you out of having the ability to watch this stream. I'm done with you. We're not friends. It's over. I'm finished. See ya. That's real. And the All-In Challenge, my auction is running up on Saturday. Tomorrow, it's over. So if you've not bought your raffle tickets, please, please do that now. Here is what I'm offering on the All-In Challenge. Love you. I am giving away the ultimate Gary V experience. How should that go? Okay. Over the last week or so, I've been jamming with my friend Michael Rubin and helping out on this All-In Challenge that I am accepting right now. But allinchallenge.com, please go there. We are challenging some of the greatest artists, entertainers, athletes in the world to provide a ridiculous all-time experience or one of their most iconic items in their collection to help raise money, to help feed the hungry during this ridiculous time. And so now I have to put up my auction. So my auction, the ultimate Gary V experience. Here we go. I'm going to go off the top of the head. And you can go on allinchallenge.com to go bid on this. I am giving away, okay, you get to, in the course of a year, you will go garage sailing with me and film Trash Talk. Also, you can get a workout with me and Mike Vacanti. So I know a lot of you pay attention to that part of my world. Also, we're going to go to Wine Library and do a $25,000 shopping spree. That's right. I'm going to pay my dad. Well, I'm going to donate. We're going to pay my dad $25,000. So $25,000 shopping spree at Wine Library. I will walk through the whole store with you, tell you the war stories, and you'll buy a bunch of wine, beer, liquor, whatever you want, food. We are going to go to a Jets game together. You're going to tailgate with me. I never do this. When I give away Jets tickets, I never let the person sit with me. So you will sit with me during the Jets game. I won't talk to you during the game. I'm completely focused, but you'll get that. So the ultimate Jets experience, tailgate, full game with me as well. Also, I'm going to give you 1 week play at Vayner Media. So this is for you and a +1, by the way. So the 2 tickets, we'll do some +1s, we'll do some just me and you, depending on what it is. 1 full week at Vayner Media, getting consulting and business advice from Team Gary Vee and me for the entire week, hanging out in the pit where the show's done. You're going to be a guest of my podcast. We're going to do a wine dinner for you and 7 of your friends at Hunt and Fish Club in New York City. And I'm going to fly you all paid, +1 to 3 of my keynotes, and we'll work on those details. The ultimate Gary Vee experience. I hope you bid on it. I hope you get involved. I hope we raise a lot of money to help people that need it. Also, what's so fun about the All-In Challenge is you get to challenge people to be in it. I am going to challenge all the Vayner Sports athletes. I expect you in there, so that is number 1. Number 2, I'm going to go with, you know what? Timbaland, the super producer who's completely lighting up Instagram. Timbaland, the super producer, I'm calling you out. And finally, I got one. The Undertaker, one of the great wrestlers of all time. Please join the challenge. Everybody go to allinchallenge.com. Please support this. The experiences are going to be nuts. We've been working, bleeding out of the eyeballs for the last week, putting this all together. You're going to be blown away what you're about to see on social media. #AllinChallenge. Please check it out. And please go to your favorite celebrities, athletes, and entertainers and leave #AllinChallenge to get them involved. The All-In Challenge. Please take it. Anybody with an iPhone who's not subscribed to the podcast, you're hurting my feelings. So we have a little bit of a promotional thing to inspire you. If you've just subscribed to my podcast, there's the URL. It's garyvee.com/audio experience if you want the whole thing, or you can go to Apple and just search Gary Vee audio experience. I would love for you to get on board. There's so much going on here. I have a little bit of a concern that Tea with Gary Vee does not continue post COVID, but the way you can get that hit is through Tea with Gary Vee. Also, before I head out, wine text today. I saw several people asking for the heads up. Today's a monster. It's a wine from the Languedoc in France, and it's 93 points from one of the hardest critics in the world. So that's just crazy. And it's under $20 a bottle. It's a big time red. For a lot of you that drink $40, $50 reds or aspire to, it's a big time red. So please sign up for winetext.com if you buy wine in the US. It would mean the world to me. And please check this out. I realize a lot of you that watch Tea with Gary Vee aren't signed up for my podcast. That makes me sad. Here's what you're missing out on.
No, you like helped me so much.
Thank you, bro.
And navigating, it's all mindset.
You're preaching.
Like when I entered college, I had such a bad mindset.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't really want to be here. I just want to work.
Yeah.
But listening to the podcast every day, having positivity in my ears has really just helped me along.
Gary, if the mindset has been skewed, how can you bring it back? And I answered by surrounding yourself with people who have the mindset you aspire to. Mold, and I mean mold, your mindset by what you consume and with whom you consume it. If you think your life is shit, your life is shit. Keep listening to more of my content. You need fucking positivity coming through your ears. When fucking all that negativity's coming in your head, put your fucking headphones in and listen to positivity. If you can't move out yet, put shit in your ears. You walk in, put the fucking headphones on in your house, close your door, and fucking listen. You can listen while you're driving. You can listen while you're traveling. You can listen while you're working out. You can listen while you're walking the dog. Find your shit. Don't listen to the people that shit on you. Get in your own head, put positivity around you, drop loser friends. That negativity that you're hearing, you gotta get that the fuck out of your life. You need to put your fucking earpods in and listen to positivity 24/7 and get you through that shit. Do you understand? When your surroundings are shit, your inside's gotta be positive. The fact that you're even here means you're fucking halfway home. support. And thank you, Jai. The florist idea was a good one. Thank you for donating to the All In Challenge, everybody. And thank you, everybody who signed up for Wine Text. I'm really excited about it. I'm really enjoying it. Today's offer is really gangster, like legit shit. So thank you so much. And we will talk to you soon. If you signed up for Wine Text right now, I've got like 2 minutes before my next meeting. Hit me up with the confirmation screen on Twitter. I'd like to follow and retweet you. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.
So in the particular videos and examples that we watched, Gary Vee wants you to either go to the All In Challenge, go to his wine library, sign up for his audio podcast. And these are all things that he encourages you to do. And so that's what the examples were. So by definition, it's called call to action. And a lot of times, without getting into too much of the psychology and marketing behind it, the general idea that we have found is that most researchers and people studying human psychology have found that if you just give people a reason or an idea to do something, they're more than 80% likely to comply with that action. So what I mean by that is if I say, hey, go to links.blendlogic.com/shortcuts, hint, hint, that is a CTA. If I don't give you any context or explanation or reason, then more than likely you're not wanting to go to that particular site. But then if I give an example or a reason and I say, go to that site to learn more basketball training videos, people will be more likely to want to comply to that request. So it's very interesting. The study that they found in Harvard was even if you literally explain why you want the thing and there's no outside explanation, people are more likely to comply. And of course, I'll leave the links below to these research studies. But the example I want to give, which I thought was really funny and really brilliant, was they tested at an office and they stated, hey, can you pass the stapler? And they found what their rates were somewhere around 30%, conversion rates, if you're using marketing terms, so basically compliance, the person didn't hand the stapler. But if they literally said, hey, can you hand me a stapler so I could staple my piece of paper, which is literally what a stapler is for, just by adding that fact of why they wanted the call to action, you get more compliance. So for those of you who are trying to increase your conversion rates, and that is something that you want to kind of lead into your system. So I kind of have been trying to set up a new way to talk about what I'm going to be covering. So I literally just have a PowerPoint slide and I appended it. So let me know what you guys think about this. I'm trying to get more feedback. So leave some comments below if you like this style and methodology of what I'm teaching. So let's go right into more examples of what Gary Vee puts out. So based on the information that I found, a lot of times he puts most of his CTAs at the end of his YouTube videos. So from in general, I have some thoughts on why Gary Vee is really utilizing this approach, but I have more links and articles on my website explaining kind of the Gary Vee approach, and I'll leave some links of research I found of other people studying Gary Vee's techniques. But in general, I found that Gary Vee knows his strengths and weaknesses. So there's a good book called Managing One's Strength by Peter Drucker, where you double down on what you're good at. So I would assume that Gary Vee is in tune knowing that he's good in front of the camera and good in front of with his personality and explaining it to the audience, that he prefers his main methodology of getting reach is to use video technology. And so some of the stuff that why he puts CTAs going into a podcast is because literally from this particular video you're watching, I could easily just strip the audio out and post it as a podcast. So side note and CTA, if you guys need helps with your podcast, I'm going to leave a link below to a podcast mini course that I built in collaboration with Max McCoy, who runs a podcast called Looking Up, good friend of mine out in California. So be able to check the links below if you want to get started running your podcast, and even how I am doing this OBS and stuff like that. That's what's going to be linked below. And transparently, that is also a CTA. So I want you guys really focusing on the content I'm making and paying attention to, when am I doing CTAs or how I'm doing that, because essentially a lot of it is learned from, studying the market and being a practitioner in the game. Okay, so now for increasing your conversion. So I had made tons of material before on little tips and tricks you could do for converting your online sales. A lot of it comes down to first being able to track what your sales metrics are. If you do not know where your pages or funnels are breaking down, then you pretty much have no power or idea of what to fix. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and go into an example of what I kind of do for most of my clients and for my own particular funnel. So I'm going to go to funnelytics.com and I have to change my screen to share. So bear with me as, oh, wrong thing displayed. Sorry about that. You're seeing a back end of how the system works. So for example, in my basketball digital marketing funnels, this is one particular one I did. I actually have a inner circle that I've been coaching some people on setting up most of this stuff. But to go into my funnels, so if I had on this particular account that I use for demonstration, I have Funnelytics Pro. It basically gives you performance indicators, stuff of that nature, KPIs that you would want to know where each of your funnels, where they were bad and stuff of that nature. I kind of can't show you the private version because it has some client site information that's confidential of what their KPIs are. But essentially, what I will say is from Facebook, so this particular video that you're watching, by giving you an explanation, I am theorizing, of course, I will measure the steps that with Facebook video, and I'm just going to put this Facebook here, that by you watching this, I will be able to track a conversion rate of who watched this Facebook video to who went to the inner circle kind of checkout page. So there's also another step that if I'm breaking down my own marketing strategies, I will take the same video and I will post it on YouTube. So what I mean by this is that one of my earliest people that most of the time, I haven't publicly announced this inner circle thing yet. And this is perhaps if you guys are in the Facebook Baller group where you're hearing this. So I will make another one here. And this is the Facebook Baller group. Most of my traffic where I got my conversion rates and numbers from is from my previous inner circle members. I don't know if there's a members area. I could put that here and say, hey, the inner circle from last month, they were some of the primary traffic. And then someone in the inner circle from last time had some referrals. So now I'm tracking who makes it to this page and who gets these particular offers. So just transparently, right now I'm having a 50% upsell rate from going from the inner circle buy to the Coach Rock. And then everyone else who saw it, I've actually pinged them directly asking, hey, what was it about this promotion or what was it about that page? If you could give me some feedback on understanding my own funnels. So all of this to share, not to just break down my own funnels and what I've done in Blend Logic for all of my clients and stuff of that nature. I really want to break down that, that is, in my opinion, the most important thing that you could do to increasing your sales and getting closer to getting the duffels, a bag full of duffels in your pocket today. Because essentially what it means is if you know exactly where in your funnel steps that people are going and then not converting, it's probably in my opinion, the easiest thing I've done when I've worked with clients and honestly in some of my, some of the packages I sell is I just go and I say, hey, let's map out let's get a current understanding, in consulting, they call it, a current documentation, stuff of that nature. Let's map out your existing marketing funnels and how your business gets money. And then I just kind of brainstorm with them of seeing ways that we could increase, the cart values, something that I say, basically increase the amount of money that people spend. So Jay Abrams talks about important ways that you get marketing. There's only a certain amount of ways to increase your business. You get more customers or you get customers to spend more money. So that's kind of the ways that I focus with working with my clients on helping them grow and thrive in their business. So let's go into some elite time marketing strategies. I will say that by viewing this, I do kind of wish that it had a better indicator of what topic I'm on. The PowerPoint, I'll need to configure that later. But let's go right into it. So from studying what I see Gary Vaynerchuck do and another stuff that not only in his videos, but he's not actually doing it in his actual funnels, but I am doing it myself. So I was introduced to these people. I'm going to change my screen again, and I'm going to I have no affiliate link here to these people, but I am aware of who they are. Transparently, the CMO of this, the Chief Marketing Officer, is a good friend. This guy right here, Austin, he's a good friend of my sister. So we kind of got connected on that end, talking to them personally. But this is run by Dave Mossengenberg. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Basically what it does is it adds a pop-up or indicator stating that people have taking a certain action. And so if I bring up my own funnels, and this is stuff that I will take a look at what Gary Vee does. So let's just talk about it in terms of his videos. So 1 second while I bring that up. I have all of his videos downloaded. I'm also doing this in post edit, but for this particular version, I'm recording my screen, so I might as well showcase where I saw it. So in these videos right here, this is what I'm talking about. This in the video is similar to proof, where you get ideas of what people are leaving comments on, and he puts it in his video as an indicator, saying, hey, the certain proof that he's getting right now is that he has social proof. Other people are watching at the same time. If we keep scrolling through the video, he puts what the questions are. That's not necessarily social proof. Long time watcher, first hello. So this is just an idea of stuff that you can put in either your own videos or even on your website. So what I wanted to showcase particularly is not just proof, but I have another software that I was able to get a lifetime deal on. And what I want to do now is showcase my my Kartra Inner Circle sale, because I added my particular thing to my own page. So what I use is something called evidence.io, and it's basically the same thing. So it uses without getting too technical, it uses a webhook. So every time Kartra gets a sale, it indicates the events that are getting stored in the local database, and then it pops up on my page. So what I do here is the particular one that I set up is after 10 seconds, it goes through the database of people who have bought the Inner Circle and pops it up as an indicator. So there you go. Someone was in last month. So sometimes if the person signed up but didn't put a name, I put it as a default coding value saying it was someone. Other times what I did was I also indicated as a campaign in this one who joined last month. So I think it wasn't moving away because I had my mouse over it. But if we keep it on while I'm talking, you can kind of see the evidence proof there. So eventually there will be another one in. And I also put a different notification of people who signed up this month. So that's kind of how I split test my evidence proof. So Gabe is in the Inner Circle. He runs a basketball training business with over 40,000 Instagram followers. So he signed up yesterday, and then it's on random. So I'm not exactly sure what's going to appear next, but Gabe was also in last month. So if theoretically appears next, it will tell you, hey, this person joined in last month. It looks like probably I need to set it up. I wanted to say who the person is. So I'm going to actually show you the back end of evidence.io so you guys can kind of see how this effort is. So when you sign in, you have a certain amount of campaigns that you want to run. I was running the Inner Circle, and I wanted to have one that says signups from last month and signups from this month. So the aim of this isn't to get super technical into the tools I use. If you're interested, here's a CTA if you guys are paying attention. If you want a video explaining exactly how I set this up, I'll be happy to make it for you guys. Just leave a comment below. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment. If you're watching this in the Baller group, leave a comment. But basically what I did is I have a webhook here that Kartra is integrated with, so I get the person's first name and when they joined. So I'm willing to bet that the error is here in the design. Okay, it's supposed to say username was in last month. So let's take a look at what the fields are. I have username, default value is someone, and then it says, again here, it says for sources, you need to select the field of the variable you use. So I did first name. So it should be working here when I choose username. So maybe it randomizes it. I'll have to debug after this video to determine what exactly was going on. But that is kind of an elite time marketing enhancement that you guys can do for your sites. And a lot of times what I found by leveraging this is of course going from, not only proofs research where they send evidence, but even testing for myself by implementing that into some of my client sites and even to my own material. I found that the bounce rate of some of the funnels I send drastically decreases by somewhere around 18%. And what I mean by bounce rate is that, let me get this. It's showing Chris was in last month. So for some reason it's working for that person. Let me get back and stop being ADHD. Bounce rate basically means when someone gets to your site and then exits. So you also want to be tracking all these stuff in when you're running your business or when you're running your marketing arm, or at least be working with someone or training someone in your business who understands these concepts. So you want to get your bounce rate down, your click-through rates higher, and there's a lot of factors involved. But that one particular elite marketing enhancement that I showed that Gary Vee does in his videos, it's a social proof concept, but now turning it into digitally really explains the concepts. And so, in conclusion, I just want to wrap up everything I've said. We went over the Gary Vee examples of what he does in his videos. You can mark track. And if you're on YouTube, I have, particularly if you check out my YouTube, I have some videos that I don't post on my Facebook group. So a hint, that's another CTA. Once you get good at making videos and all this coaching stuff that I've been through the ringer and kind of working as a practitioner to create, it kind of just comes second nature for me, leaving hints for CTAs. And there's stuff in sales and marketing called like soft sales and hard sales. So right now in conversation, a lot of these are soft sales, and the ones where I particularly pause the video or make it very obvious that I want you to go to the certain thing, that's where I hit you. One particular thing I will say is, for the most time doing CTAs, my advice is you want to limit the amount of hard sale CTAs in your site, and you want to limit them to be at the end of your videos, similar to what Gary Vee did. Though through the nature of me making this content, it's kind of hard to demonstrate CTAs without naturally wanting to throw in my own. But we are at the end of the video, so I hope that explains some of the concepts. When we talked about increasing conversion and more dollars, this comes down to tracking where your funnel is, not performing well, and then doing the appropriate steps to either get marketing feedback, aka asking the people who saw it, hey, what did you think of that page, XYZ, or you could run surveys, which is something I use, and I can make more content on that. And if you're watching this and you're in the inner circle, I will explain some of this content, or if you really want to hear about it in this next meeting, just ping me on our inner circle Facebook group and I will respond, or I can make a video on it. The elite marketing enhancements. So you can either use proof, which is around $20 a month, or evidence. I've shared with you before how I get lifetime deals on things. Use that network and that platform to get evidence IO if it's still available. This video was made in May 8, 2020. So if it's the case that you could still sign up, feel free to join. So that is all. I have given plenty full of CTAs in this video and given you an example of kind of how they work. I would say if you're watching this and you've made it to the end, think about what the emotions you're feeling and what you want to do after watching this, and conclude that, videos do work. Or if you're inclined to look at the links below that I have listed before and you kind of want to know more about CTAs, that's the whole reason why call to actions work, right? You watch this video, you're informed, and you're like, man, I want to know more. You're literally playing into, not only my marketing influence, but what the top marketers are doing, such as Gary Vee. And I will add one more elite marketing enhancement, is that if you really watch Gary Vee's video, and we go back to the first example that he used in his video, I have the initial edits up so I could just bring up DaVinci Resolve. He's explaining his concept of how he's been, hopefully the audio is playing from this. I'm not sure. Let me see if I could get it going. So right here, he's saying, I've been jamming with my friend, Michael Rubin. And then if we play the video, so I purposely edited it out, but basically he puts a call to action showing that he's verified on Twitter, which immediately brings up social status that, one, he's big enough to be socially verified on Twitter. I realized I wasn't sharing my screen, so let me go back and kind of redo that. So he's talking about Michael Rubin helping out. And right there's like a small little CTA right there. We post that small little check box right there. That's elite marketing strategy. So basically what that means is people are aware that means that he must be someone of influence, right? Without even having to explain it. You kind of just are already socially conditioned to say, check mark means this guy must be important. So what Gary Vee is doing is he's establishing authority bias and saying, hey, the person I'm working with has authority. If you don't know who Gary Vee is, some people may be watching for the first time. It was similar concepts that Michael Jordan talks about in The Last Dance, where he treats every day of his life like someone has never heard of him. So the last kind of this is some ninja stuff. It comes from the book. Warren Buffett's business partner, Charlie Munger, talks about the psychological biases that he used to leverage in all of his business meetings and basically build up his net worth to $1 billion. So one of that is authority bias. The other one is kind of the halo bias or the halo effect. As you associate yourself with other people, people associate you with the good parts of what they know of that person. So I've explained this in kind of more videos. I'm kind of really digressing out of this, but as you can see, I really like talking about some of these concepts, and they're really interesting to me. And I love it when people, find their passion and joy into it and start doing it for their business. Because once you get this stuff down, you're really going to start skyrocketing in your business. Easily make a duffel per day. But what it is the halo effect is, to a degree, when I mention, hey, I'm the director of digital marketing for Jordan Lawley, or I've worked with David Nurse, who his uncle is Nick Nurse, the coach of the Toronto Raptors, who won the NBA championship. Or I say I was connected with Phil Handy and I worked with Star Vision. Phil Handy is now the assistant coach for the LA Lakers. All of that just to say, you could call it name dropping, or you could call it authority bias with a mix of association bias. And those are all people I have worked with. And so if you're watching this for the first time, or you don't even know who I am, you may be like, this guy actually is like, it gives you an impression of the type of crowd I'm in. And it has a very powerful effect when leveraging properly in your marketing. Obviously, I'm not going to say I'm a master at it. I've learned these concepts about 3 years ago, and I'm taking some time to kind of get better and better at it in my videos. Anyways, that is the end, and that is the conclusion. We have cut this video in 20 minutes. I've been recording, and now I have to go back and edit it. And I'm just going to leave this in here so that you guys are aware of the process. I hope you guys learn more about CTAs, and I have multiple CTA links below for further training. I guess if I want to do a soft sell, if you guys are interested in the inner circle, I'll leave a link below. Right now I'm doing a May offer, and it's $10, and I got some pretty cool goodies in there. So hope you guys are staying safe and leveraging this time. We have so much increased demand in digital products. I hope you're taking each day to create the content that you need to be creating. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Fucking Alan has been blowing my mind the fucking past 2 Zoom calls. Holy shit. Bro, I didn't know there was any strategy behind what Jerry was doing.
Well,
just check in 2020 if it's still true, right?
Oh shit.
Check in 2020 if it's
Wait, so people actually do this, like right now? People are actually doing that.
Why wouldn't they?
Hard. That's elite.
That's
fucking elite.
This is digital marketing elite. This is digital marketing time elite, okay?
Dude, Alan,
elite level of marketing. Hey, I know you want to see Adam, but look, I'm fucking shredded J-Rock. Don't click this button, skip. I'm broke. They'd be like,
Alan, mark that, dude. Mark that, Alan.
They'd be like, who the fuck is J-Rock? Would that work or would it not work?
You can actually do that?
What do you mean, can you actually do that? I'm just telling you, yes. And you don't have to pay for impressions.